Got a base on balls, and the batter is Pete Rose with 2 outs in the 9th inning. The tying run is on for the Phillies against the Montreal Expos, and the tying runs are on base here for the Pirates in the 7th inning. John Milner, strike fastball. He'll never get another one like that one back.
In 100 innings pitched this year, Suter has struck out 108. He's 1 save to tie John Hiller with 38 for the Major League lead. There it goes.
Wild pitch, and runners advance. A break for the Pirates because not only do they move into scoring position, they get away from that inning-ending double play possibility.
That's a problem with that pitch. That's the 8th wild pitch that Suter has thrown this year. It breaks so much. He doesn't know where it's going to go, Joe, except it's going to be hard and it's going to go down.
Rose came up with an infield single. Gross is on at second. Rose is on at first. 2 outs, and Tim McCarver is batting for Boa. They've got excitement in Montreal. Here, the tying runs are at second and third. The batter is Milner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fly ball, right field. Thompson's there, makes the catch. Foley's going to try to score. Here's the throw, cut off. 6-5. Cubs are leading. Sacrifice fly from Milner.
That is a pretty good piece of hitting by Milner, because to get that Suter split-fingered fastball off the ground is an achievement in itself. Tanner leads the pack. Right behind Vivian, Garner, Candelaria, Stargell.
So it's 6-5. On at second base. And Tim McCarver is just singled, and the game is tied in Montreal. When they put that on the scoreboard here, this crowd's going to go bonkers. Tying runs at second here. Line drive, base hit. Parker scored, we're tied, listen. Pittsburgh Pirates have come back, and we're tied at 6 apiece. And look at this crowd on their feet. The bench is alive.
And Joe, they've come back against the best relief pitcher, I think, in all of baseball.
Here is Suter. Here is Ed Ott. Strike 1. At second base, Madlock. Madlock got a big double in the 6th inning, came around to score. And with 2 outs and the tying run on, Madlock doubles. And those are the RBIs. Listen to the crowd. They just put it on the scoreboard.
On the board.
Quick strikes. Ott tried to check his swing. In Montreal, there are runners on first and on second. McCarver's on first. Rose is on second, and Mike Schmidt is the batter. Here you see Madlock at second base. He just doubled to tie it up. The batter is Ed Ott with the count of 2 strikes. What a way to finish a baseball season. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage. Chase the bad ball. Ott is out on strikes. That ends the inning, but it's a good inning for the Pirates as they tie it. At the end of 7, Chicago 6, Pittsburgh 6. Mike Schmidt just rounded out to end the Phillies' 9th, so they go into extra innings. It's Philadelphia 2 and Montreal 2. Bottom of the 9th. It's the bottom of the 9th. I'm sorry, but it's still tied 2-2. It's not extra innings. And we welcome those of you who've been watching the Atlanta-Cincinnati game. There you see it. 6-6 Pirates and Cubs. But what a battle it has been as we look at Steve Dillard, who leads it off here in the 8th inning. Outside, ball 1. Pirates jumped out into a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the 1st, but the Cubs came roaring back with 1 in the 5th and 5 in the 6th inning. They were leading 6-3. Pittsburgh came back with 1 in the bottom of the 6th and 2 in the bottom of the 7th. And Bruce Sutter is the pitcher for the Cubs, and Grant Jackson is the pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Montreal and the Phillies are tied at 2 apiece in the bottom of the 9th. A quick strike, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Dillard.
Blyleven was the starter for the Pirates. Enrique Romo came in. Now it's Jackson. Lamb started for the Cubs.
Inside, 2-2. Some clutch hitting by Bill Madlock. Cubs sent 10 men to bat in the 6th inning when they scored their 5 runs. It's popped up. Ott's got to play. 1 out. For the Phillies, Raleigh Eastwick has gone in to pitch. This crowd, 25,734. They really had a lot to cheer about when the Pirates jumped out to that 3-run lead in the 1st inning. It was a single by Stargell, drove in 2 runs, sacrifice fly by Madlock. But the Cubs, a lot of hitting, and they got 5 hits in that 6th when they got 5 runs to go ahead 6-3. But Madlock has had himself quite an afternoon. He doubled in the 6th, and the 2-out double in the 7th tied it, and that's where we are. Strike 1 on Kelleher.
Dave Parker, also from the Pirates. He's had a 4-for-4 day. He had 3 runs batted in yesterday's ball game with a big home run.
He is red hot. Foul back. 2 quick strikes on Kelleher. Parker has scored 2 runs. Madlock has driven in 2 and scored 1. Stargell has driven in 2. On Taveras, a big day for the Cubs. Fouled out of play. He had to leave the game, but he singled and scored in the 5th. Doubled to drive in 2 runs and later scored in the 6th. Vail, a big pinch hit. A lot of excitement here at Three Rivers Stadium. Center field, Moreno is going back. He's got room. 2 outs.
You know, Chuck Tanner sure not taking any chances with this ball game now after the Cubs had to come back after being down. He's got the guy, there's Tanner. Tanner's got his ace warming up in the bullpen. He's reading little scouting reports. Those are his notebooks we've talked about so often. He's got a box full of them in his office. Scouting reports on every hitter. Looking over Blackwell from the right side. DeCulvey's throwing now for the Pirates.
I'll tell you, that thing is so dog-eared, that notebook of Tanner's. There's the strike to Blackwell. Looks like he's had it ever since he broke into baseball. He just let it hang around as we look at DeCulvey, the big guy. Joe Coleman standing there with his hat off. Fouled off.
You know, you're talking about notebooks. We mentioned the name Peanuts Laurie, who's kind of followed Herman Franks around wherever he's gone. And when Franks left the Giants, Peanuts kind of retired. Franks came back to the Cubs. Peanuts came back. Laurie has got apparently a box of those books, but when Franks retired this time, he threw them all away. He had all that valuable information going down the trash can. Scouting report on almost every big league hitter, all the signs he has stolen.
1-2 pitch. Tipped his bat. Strikeout, so that ends the inning. 3 up, 3 down in the 8th inning. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. We're tied at 6 apiece. It'll be Garner, the pitcher spot, Moreno for the Pirates. Peace. Cubs and the Pirates. The Expos, their leadoff man, Valentine, single to right field in the bottom of the 9th inning. So let's get an update. There's some action. Let's go to Larry Sackenoff for the update on their game. Back here at Three River Stadium, Joe Garagiola with Tony Kubek. Phil Gardner flied to the center fielder for the 1st out. Lee Lacy, the pinch hitter, is just out on strikes. So there are 2 outs, nobody on. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. The batter is Omar Moreno. There's 1 tap. Blackwell to play. That's it. So it's an easy inning for the Cubs. And at the end of 8, the score here is tied at 6 apiece. Well, the rest of the bullpen has just come in for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Kent DeCulvey. But up in Montreal, it's 1st and 3rd. Rusty Staub is up. Let's go to Larry Sackenoff for an update.
Dave Cash is coming up to bat in place of Rusty Staub, who was the announced pinch hitter. He's got 1 strike on him. Tug McGraw is now in the ballgame doing the pitching. You see the score there. 2-2, bottom of the 9th. Montreal has to win it. No ball, 1 strike count on Dave Cash. Tim Raines, the pinch runner for Ellis Valentine, down at 3rd. And McGraw calls time. He wants a new ball, wants to make sure he's got a good one to see if he can throw it past Dave Cash. McGraw on the hill, 1 out. Runners at 1st and 3rd. You don't need the runner at 1st. All you have to do is get that runner at 3rd in, and Montreal wins. No balls, 1 strike. He's looking in. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball, foul. So it's now 0-2. Tug McGraw on the hill, way ahead of Dave Cash, the pinch hitter. He was announced, Rusty Staub was announced to do the pinch hitting, and then Dave Cash came in for him as soon as the pitching change was made. Raleigh Eastwick went out. Tug McGraw came in for the Philadelphia Phillies. We're 0-2. 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Tim Raines, the winning run at 3rd. McGraw looks in. The pitch high and away. He wasted it. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Dave Cash. Raines again, the winning run, waiting at 3rd, has to score. 50,000 people here in Olympic Stadium in Montreal. They love their Expos. 1 ball, 2 strikes. McGraw looks. Cash swings. Line drive out there into right field. If it falls in, it's fair. And the Montreal Expos have won the game 3-2. Tim Raines comes in to score. And there you have it. The Expos pull it out in the bottom of the 9th. The 2-2 score after Philadelphia did it in the top of the 9th. They come back. Dave Cash, pinch hit single over the right fielder's head out there. And Montreal has won the ballgame 3-2. And now they make Pittsburgh have to win against the Chicago Cubs. The Montreal Expos 3, the Philadelphia Phillies 2. They did it in the bottom of the 9th. That is a final score. 50,000 going wild at Olympic Stadium in Montreal. 3-2, there's your final. Montreal did it. Now they'll wait and see what happens in Pittsburgh. I'm Larry Sacknoff for NBC Sports.
Well, here we've got Jerry Martin as a pinch hitter for Bruce Sutter. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes against Kent DeCulvey. And when that news goes up on that scoreboard that the Montreal Expos defeated the Philadelphia Phillies, these fans, they're going to react to that.
I wonder if they'll put it up here.
They'll put it up. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So those Montreal Expos, they're battling a game bunch. They had a 2-0 lead, were tied, but in the bottom of the 9th, went on to win it.
Cubs manager Joey Amalfitano had a tough decision to make. He had Sutter in there for the Cubs pitching. Probably the top reliever in baseball. For the tie game, there's Amalfitano. He pinch hit Jerry Martin. Sutter gave him 2 innings. Sutter cannot get that save record this year. He can tie it. He comes in and gets a save tomorrow.
To Colby. Popped up. Moreno, Parker. Moreno's taking charge. Makes the play. Martin flies to Moreno. So there's 1 away. To Colby's record, 93 appearances, which is tops in the National League. He's 10-8, has 30 saves. He's second to Sutter, who has the 37, and an earned run average of 2.79.
Well, he told us last week that just a few years ago, he and Goose Gossage set the appearance record for Pirate pitchers. They tied at 71. This year, there have been 3 Pirate relief pitchers who've broken that record. DeCulvey, man, that may never be caught. 93rd appearance.
Strike 1 on DeJesus. Big breaking ball. Here goes that reaction to the score in Montreal.
See, I caught Gardner looking over his shoulder, Foley looking at the scoreboard, and Kent DeCulvey all looking back to see what the reaction was to.
Line drive, right field. Parker will not get this one. DeJesus is on with the single. Tony, they reacted to that score about the way the Milwaukee fans reacted to your 2 home runs in the World Series when you were with the Yankees. Everybody had a lockjaw and their hands were tied. Sports World at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. Best, the past and present bowlers. 2 old friends of mine I know I'll be anxious to see. Bill Lillard, Harry Smith. And the way we're going here, they'll be coming on after our game because we're 4:53 Eastern Time. So at the conclusion of our game, as we look at Scott Thompson.
DeJesus can run.
And there he goes. Oh, false start. A good one, though. I tell you, he had me. He took 3 quick steps. He was ready to go.
He didn't get a good jump, Joe, so he wisely held up because he'd have been gunned out by Ott, who releases the ball very quickly. He wanted to go, and then he said, wasn't good enough. DeColvian loaded the ball to home plate very quickly. Many times he's very slow with that sidearm delivery.
He may have, DeJesus may have just slipped as he dug to head for second base because it looked like he was really going.
He has stolen 23, but he's been caught 21 times, DeJesus.
Holding. Off the glove. Gardner will make a play at first base. So it goes 1, 4, 3 with DeJesus moving down to second.
Joe, that was not an easy play for Garner because he started to his right, and on this slippery turf after all the rains, he was really busting out to try and get the ball up the middle, which he might not have gotten. So to reverse his field and come back and still get at least 1 runner was a pretty good play, although he made it look easy for Garner.
So DeJesus, the tie-breaking run is on at second base. Billy Buckner is the batter. Buckner is 2 for 4. He flied to left in the first inning, flied to right in the fourth. He doubled and scored in the sixth, and he singled to right.
And intentionally walk him, are they? To get to Kingman, huh?
I would think so.
2 outs?
Well, he's a better contact hitter. I'd go with pitching to Kingman. So, with Montreal winning, boy, I tell you it comes right down. There's the way they stand. Pittsburgh, 97-63. Montreal, 95-64. So, if the Cubbies would beat the Pirates, it would be just a game.
Wow.
And it's tomorrow.
I'm glad up here. There is a lot of pressure, believe me.
Left fielder, Dave Kingman.
So now we have Tekulve against Kingman. Kingman popped to the second baseman. He bounced out to the shortstop. An infield hit to drive in a run, came around to score himself on a double by Ontiveros, and then fly deep to center field.
Now you talked about the better contact hitter, Buckner, who does not strike out much. Kingman has gone down 131 times this year.
There are 2 outs, and we are tied. We're in the 9th inning. Outside, ball 1. In the 9th inning for Pittsburgh, Foli, Parker, and Stargell. It's the way they got it started when they scored 2 in the 7th to tie it.
Kingman wants a new ball. Billy Williams throws it out.
One ball, no strikes.
Boy, is Kingman taking a lot of time, Joe?
Both of them. Pickoff. They're swung around. You can see Garner is walking back. He's on the second base side, but almost directly behind the bag.
You better believe those infielders have one thing in mind with 2 outs in first and second. You dive and knock anything down in your area. Keep those runners, keep the ball in the infield and the runners in the infield, not crossing home plate.
1 ball and 1 strike. Boy, here it is. The cliche calls it, you call it the confrontation. The big home run hitter against the relief pitcher. Strength against strength, boy. It's thinking against throwing now. What's he going to throw me? Straight away center field. Moreno is coming in. He's got it. And he makes the catch. That ends the inning. So we go into the bottom half of the 9th inning. We're all tied at 6 apiece. Well, Sports World will be coming up following our game now. Stay with us. We'll be showing you the best in the past and present as far as the bowlers and the Michigan 125. But right here, we've got a dandy going. We're all tied at 6 apiece. And we've got a new pitcher and a new right fielder for the Chicago Cubs. Montreal has already won their game. And they're trying to get near a television set, I'm sure, to try to watch the end of this ball game. So, an exciting afternoon. Sports, a new right fielder, Jerry Martin, stays in the game. And there you see him. And Dave Geisel is the new pitcher for the Cubs. So let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network. Santa Claus is in the stands. Everybody's cheering for the Buccos here in Pittsburgh. Everybody's got a bird or a chicken or something. We're being invaded by the Muppets.
I got to tip my hat to one of the veteran sports writers here in Pittsburgh, Charlie Feeney, because the Pirate came up during the Montreal series when they were in town. And first of all, he aggravated apparently some of the Montreal players during the game when he stole a hat. And then he went up and was kind of, he's getting on the Montreal writers, and Charlie Feeney kicked him out of the press box. Tip of the hat to Charlie Feeney.
How can you throw the lovable parrot out of the press box? Easily, you pick him up by his nose. Okay, we're in the bottom of the ninth. Foli, Parker, and Stargell.
7th ball game for Geisel, Cubs uniform. He's pitched his 13th and 3rd inning, struck out 5. No decisions, no saves.
He was 5-5 at Wichita as Tanner marks that scorecard. Boy, there have been a lot of players in this game. Both managers making a lot of moves. Foli takes it low, ball 1. Foli got it started for the Pirates in the 7th inning when he singled to center field. They scored 2 runs to tie it. Strike. Foli trying to steal a pitch.
It looked like he was almost maybe trying to get hit by a pitch too. Anything inside.
Curveball inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out. Joe Launette coaching the 3rd. Nothing going on.
Foli looked like he was going to try and take 2 strikes no matter what. Try and lead the inning off with a walk. He wasn't even going after this first couple. Not that time.
Foul ball, 2-2's the count. High curveball. There you see the Cub bench. Amalfitano, Cookie Rojas, Tony Garofalo. Two-two pitch. Off the handle, De Jesus, a big hop. In time, and Foli is out. Tanner trying to get his club going here. They're tied. Come on, he's saying. He's a cheerleader. Dave Parker is the batter, and that's the nickname here at Three Rivers. He is 4 for 4. An infield hit in the 1st inning and scored. He singled to center field, died at 3rd. He singled to center field in the 5th, and he was forced out, and then he singled and scored in the 7th.
And that's what Joey Amalfitano was looking ahead to when he brought Geisel in. He wasn't worried about Foli, who's not going to beat you with 1 swing of the bat. But to left-hander, to Foli, a right-handed hitter, he brought this guy in, Geisel, to pitch to Parker, Stargell, and maybe Milner. 3 left-handed hitters in a row.
Strike 1. Parker, the National League batting champion the last 2 seasons, is now up to 307 with that 4 for 4 day. And he'll likely finish over 300 for the 5th year in a row. Geisel, count of strike 1. One ball, 1 strike. Championship Series scheduled to start on Tuesday as we look at Willie Stargell. Hot smash, second baseman Dillard has it. 2 outs. So it brings up Willie Stargell.
People are standing, Joe.
Blast off Bucks, Buck Brigade. He hit 2 shots against Montreal, and they're looking for Lightning to strike again. But Stargell was out on strikes his last time up against Bruce Sutter. They have the shift on. Hot smash. Buckner has it. He's going to take it himself. He does. 3 up, 3 down, and we're into extra innings. The score at the end of 9 complete innings. Chicago Cubs 6, Pittsburgh Pirates 6, and for the Cubs it'll be their 5th, 6th, and 7th place batters. Following our games, Sports World, those of you who are waiting for Sports World, you got a bonus because we've got a dandy going here. We are in the 10th inning. Sports World today, we'll have the Legends of Bowling, best men and women bowlers from the past and present. Then we'll have the Michigan 125. Rick Mears, El Unser, Bobby Unser, Johnny Rutherford. Right after our game here on Sports World.
Say one thing, the Cubs haven't rolled over and played dead today, have they?
No way.
Boy, the Pirates jumped off to that 3-run lead in the first inning. Big 5-run 6th inning for the Cubbies.
Delaunay will lead it off. Tried to give you the batters coming up, but I'll tell you my scorecard. It's a wonder you can read anything.
Tanners pops out of the dugout very quickly to warn Madlock. And Stargell at first base. Delaunay has great speed and can bunt.
He's 13 for 39, Tony, hitting at .333. Madlock has it. Gets him. He doesn't swing. He sticks that bat in the ball.
He may have been trying to slice the ball by Madlock. He had him way in front of the third base bag. There's Madlock. I'll tell you one thing, in this kind of situation, every defensive play you make is a clutch situation because that leadoff hitter gets on. You get a bunt situation, you can have trouble. Big improvement, I think, for the Pirates. Has been their inner defense.
Well, they've got some guys that have made some great plays for them all year long. Madlock, Foley, Gardner. This is Dillard. One out, nobody on. Tied at 6 apiece in the 10th. Popped up. Garner's going out. You're 2 away. 2 pitches, 2 outs for Tekulve, and it brings up Kelleher, Mick Kelleher. In the bottom of the 10th for the Pirates, John Milner, Bill Madlock, and Ed Ott. Madlock has been red hot. Last 2 times up, he's doubled. Milner hit an important sacrifice fly in that 7th.
Boy, this bullpen's got to be tired, especially Tekulve. He's got 30 saves this year, but he's been in a lot of ball games in the last month. Throughout the year, but especially the last month. And he's gone streaks of 3, 4 innings. It's been amazing.
Boy, he's not a very big guy to begin with as far as weight. He's tall. I just wonder how much he's gone down from spring training.
Lost 20 pounds.
20 pounds?
About what he lost last year when he was in all the ball games.
There's his strike. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Went down, he told me last week, from 175 to 155. Whew.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1. Kelleher, 2 for 4. He singled in the 5th, and he singled and scored in the 6th. Ball 3, 3-1. Blackwell is the on-deck batter. 2 outs and nobody on, tied at 6 apiece. Tanner, Haddix, Skinner. Walked him. So Kelleher is on.
In case you joined us late, the Montreal Expos have already won their ball game against the Phillies up in Montreal, Canada.
Stargell holding the runner on. Blackwell. He's actually 0 for 1. He walked in the 3rd, sacrifice fly in the 5th, walked in the 6th, struck out in the 8th.
You know what? Joey Amalfitano, they call him the interim manager. He is managing one heck of a ball game today. He has used about everything he's got.
Strike. I know Bob Kennedy has talked about going out of the organization, but I tell you, giving that guy the job wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Well-trained, disciplined, bright young guy. Low, 1-1. Those Montreal Expos, as we look at Kelleher, you really got to give them a lot of credit. Game bunch. You looked at that schedule with all the double headers and the injuries and what have you. Battled back and won it today. Fastball didn't get it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leading 2-0. Phillies came back, tied it. Bottom of the 9th, Montreal won it.
I think Dick Williams will get a few votes for Manager of the Year. He's got to. It's going to be tough. That's going to be a tough thing to pick. Well, both leagues really this year. I think they ought to forget that award this year. There are too many deserving guys.
American League's got to be Weaver. I mean,
How about Fregosi?
Hey, the genius is nobody picked Weaver in the beginning except Mrs. Weaver. Foul ball. I mean, nobody. I don't. Well, I shouldn't say nobody. Somebody probably did, but I mean, they looked at the Yankees, this club.
Dave Israel picked Baltimore.
Baltimore Colts. Gene Mock has done a good job, too.
Certainly has.
It's going to be tough. Most valuable player, too. There's that final we were telling you about. Oh, it'll keep the old hot stove league going. Be good. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Blackwell. Kelleher's the base runner to Colby. Outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tanner has used everybody. Blyleven started. He was breezing along, and Jackson and Romo, and now to Colby. And he's walking. Everybody but Danny Gelbreth, who's in the stands, he may use him. Two pitch. Yeah, just a lob throw. Struck him out. Just tried to fight it off, didn't get it. That ends the inning, so we go into the bottom half of the 10th inning. Tied at 6 apiece, and for the Pirates, it's Milner, Madlock, and Eddott in the bottom of the 10th. Right now, John Milner, but we're going to have a pinch hitter coming out of the dugout now is Bill Robinson. Bill Robinson, a pinch hitter for John Milner.
This has been a super bench for Tanner. Give you an example. The man is going to pinch hit right now. He's got 24 home runs and 73 runs batted in. He has turned out to be a super ball player the past 4 or 5 years for this ball club. He plays about anywhere you want. He's driven in a lot of clutch big runs.
Getting to 263 with 24 home runs. 16 of those 24 home runs have been right here at Three Rivers Stadium. Tied at 6 apiece, bottom of the 10th. Ball.
Wait a second, did he call on the appeal? The home plate umpire, when they asked for the appeal, Billy Williams looked to Bruce Fremming, and Fremming said, he did go far enough on the slider, so it's a strike.
1 strike pitch to Bill Robinson. Right field. Martin near the line, has room. 1 out. So there's 1 away, and it brings up Bill Madlock. NBC's Game of the Week has been brought to you by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. And by Chrysler Corporation. See the mileage makers at your Dodge or Chrysler Plymouth dealers. And by Aquavelva, the cool, refreshing aftershave. Yes, there's something about an Aquavelva, man. And by the makers of Levi Garrett Chewing Tobacco, the best tasting tobacco you ever chewed. Ground ball. Dillard at second.
Madlock is sitting on home plate. When he took the swing and got jammed, his legs flipped right out from under him, and he ended up sitting on home plate.
So it's an easy out, 2 up and 2 down.
To show you what happened to Madlock on that Geisel slider low and in.
In odd.
He really got jammed. As he went around, the legs just gave way, and there it was. He was going for the pump is what he was doing. That's about as hard as you see Madlock swing. He wanted to win this game with one swing of the bat.
So it's up to Al Ott now, or Ed Ott. I keep calling him Al Ott. I know there's a reason for it. I had a good friend, Al Ott. Ball one. The executive producer of NBC's Game of the Week is Don Oldmeyer. Coordinating producer is Michael Weissman. The telecast of today's game has been produced by David Stern, directed by Harry Coyle, technical director Horace Ruiz, the associate producer Ed Connell, the associate director John Filippelli. One ball, no strikes. Two outs.
Did you lie your way out of that, or did you really have a friend named Al Ott?
Lives here in Pittsburgh. Okay, I didn't lie my way out.
I thought maybe it was a sneaky way of getting out.
2 balls, no strikes. In fact, his sister is married to Eddie Miller, the guy we talked about a week or so ago.
All right.
Lives up here in Mount Washington, Pittsburgh. 2-0 pitch. It is low, 3-0.
This has been one of those games, and it's not unlike a ball game where we've had a lot of excitement over a couple of innings, and then there seems to be a quiet around the crowd and a little bit of a lull, and everything explodes. It's kind of the nature of the game of baseball.
Right, he walked him. But every time somebody gets on,
we have a pinch runner. You bet. Here's the man. He can really steal the bases for you. Matt Alexander. He has stolen 12 bases, been caught just 1 time.
The batter is Phil Gardner as Alexander kind of checks that dirt. Would you pitch out on the first pitch?
Don't ask me those tough questions. I'll tell you what. I might.
I would. Just to see, because he's got to be anxious. He may have, say, green light.
At least you got to step off and see if you can catch him tipping something off. He gets a big lead. Look at that.
I'd pitch out just to see.
Gone.
I'd have had him, too. I'd have nailed him. Say, I told you.
Well, I'm one of those believers, again, that a base stealer like that, a pitch out doesn't hurt you. Doesn't help you. Gets in the hole with a hitter. Gardner right here does a job. It's called a strike, but he really protected the runner, Alexander. Boy, he had that throw beaten by a lot.
Well, he had a breaking ball to handle, and with this guy's control, give yourself the luxury of pitching out, and he'd have got him.
He's got 13, been caught 1 time, so Tanner's strategy to this point, pitch running for Ott. He's got the man in scoring position. They're going to intentionally walk Gardner now, because they've got the pitcher to Colby. Then Tanner may have to make another move. He's got Doc Ellis warming up in his bullpen. Colby's gone a couple of innings. What's Tanner going to do?
He's got to make a pinch hitting move right here. And Amalfitano is, I tell you, boy, we're seeing a lot of moves here.
Well, Amalfitano faced a similar situation earlier when he decided to remove Bruce Sutter for a pinch hitter, Jerry Martin.
Stennett is loosening up, Tony, as I look in, and he's going to make a change. There you see Tanner, and Stennett is coming out as Gardner heads down to first base. 2 quick, easy outs. Milner and Madlock, and then a base on balls to Ott. Stolen base by Alexander, the pinch runner, and now an intentional walk. And now Amalfitano.
Well, Joey's not going to go out. Laurie just called him back for one reason. He said, you wait to make sure that pinch hitter is announced, Stennett. When he's announced, when he makes his move to announce it, he has to make the move first. Then you might want to come in with a right-handed pitcher. First, then Tanner has the option of pinch hitting for the pinch hitter Stennett. But boy, the wheels are really gone. You bet.
Joey is going out to check it out with Billy Williams. Boy, we got more meetings here than the pension committee.
I got to believe Amalfitano's saying right now, okay, let's get the scorecard straight. What players does he have available? The umpire has a list of all the guys that started the game, a list of all those that are sitting on the bench eligible to play. Amalfitano's looking right now who he's got left, right-handed, left-handed. Now, will Tanner call back Stennett? Now, Tanner's got to make a move. He's talking it over with Skinner and Haddix to see what he should do. Let Stennett bat when they bring the right-hander in or not.
So he hasn't made the change yet.
Here comes a man down right now for the Cubs.
36. Who is 36?
Right. Bill Caudill, a right-hander.
Bill Caudill.
So he's coming on, will face the pinch hitter Stennett unless Chuck Tanner makes a move. Okay, now Tanner's checking it out, saying, hey, is he in the ball game or not? This is fun, isn't it? This is what you do not get right here with the DH. Right here, you don't get it. And this is what makes baseball so great.
And the preceding announcement was a paid political Kubek.
You bet. The strategy is gone with the DH. Kobe would have stayed in the game.
People,
he doesn't hit.
25,000 people didn't come here to watch Albert Malfitano and Tanner think.
Well, I did.
I came out to watch him hit.
I did, and I believe there's some purist baseball fans that watch good managing strategy because you want to second guess them. It's human nature. But anyway,
okay.
And don't have to tell our fans it's a pretty good ball game.
Oh, it is. And with that, let me tell our friendly stations along the line that we're going to give you a chance for a station break. It's this half inning. The DH would eliminate all this.
Not all of it, but quite a bit of it.
Which wouldn't be a bad idea.
The on-deck circle right now, well, now Stennett has come back out for the on-deck circle, so it looks like he's going to be the man to hit against Caudill. Caudill, no wins, 7 losses. 4.91 ERA, his 29th game, 17th in relief.
How do you like that? The game is in balance, and this game is going to be decided by a tongue depressor. Can he get enough dirt out of his shoes?
There's Joey. That's the catcher who's come down, who's going to go in the ball game right now.
The little guy in the white T-shirt, Yosh Kiwano's been around 102 years. There now is with the Cubs. He's the clubhouse man. As Caudill gets loosened up, and Sports World will be coming up following our game. Michigan 125, the big attraction. Johnny Rutherford, the youngsters, they'll all be there.
The new catcher now for the Cubs to catch Caudill is Bruce Kim. Blackwell is out of the ball game. Has some shuffling around in the batting order for the Cubbies. There you see the stats we read you a moment ago on Bill Caudill. Let's see, is he the 5th Cubs pitcher? Pirates have used 4. With DeCulvey gone, if the Pirates don't score, we'll see another pitcher for the Pirates. Probably it'll be Doc Ellis. He's the man who was throwing. In case you missed it, just a short while ago, the Montreal Expos beat the Philadelphia Phillies. They are still alive in the National League's Eastern Division. League Championship Series scheduled to start on Tuesday night in Cincinnati. The starting pitcher for Cincinnati will probably be, in fact, it's almost a certainty, Tom Seaver. On Wednesday, the Championship Series will start in the American League. A pitching matchup, you can't get any better than Nolan Ryan against Jim Palmer. We think those will be the 2 starting pitchers for Weaver and Fregosi. There it all. October 2nd, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the start of the National League Series.
And now here, we've got base runners at first and second. Matt Alexander is on at second. Garner is on at first, and Rennie Stennett is the pinch hitter for Tekulve. 2 men out, tied 6-6, bottom of the 10th. Ball 1.
The irony of all, Stennett has been somewhat of a forgotten man as we look at the base runners. He broke that leg so severely, or ankle, a couple of years ago, has not bounced back. And Garner came along and started playing so well.
One ball, 1 strike. He went around and around.
Caudill looks like he throws pretty hard. 1 ball, no strike pitch to Stennett. He just swings right through. What a cut.
With Alexander's speed at second base, 2 outs, he'll be off at the crack of the bat. You know he'll score on the base hit. They're playing shallow. Try to cut it off. Base hit. Hey, Buckner! What a play by Buckner! Saved the ball game. Oh, Buckner! It looked like it was down the line. He was playing way off to the right. A diving catch. What a play, Tony!
An absolutely phenomenal play by Bill Buckner. He wouldn't guard the line that much either, Joe. There it is, last very hard by Stennett. The signal fair by Fleming. Here comes the pitcher, Caudill. A game saver, and boy, the Montreal Expos are cheering in Montreal.
So we're tied at 6 apiece. We're in the 11th inning, and we'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
It's 2:15. 4 hours.
1-0 pitch. Fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Can you imagine had they been rained out last night and played a doubleheader today, the length of this game, and another one to follow? Luckily they got it in. Kelleher, a good lead off second base. Robinson being very cautious, deliberate worker. High chopper to Madlock. Looks the runner back.
Hey,
throws to first. Here comes Kelleher. The throw is high.
Oh, Willie threw it away.
Sturgill threw it away, and Kelleher will score.
That was some pretty shrewd base running by Keller. A ball at the left field. Cardinal rule in baseball is don't come over. Kelleher was not coming over. He was not coming over. He waited till Madlock released the ball, and then he pressured Willie Stargell, who has a good throwing arm. But Stargell lets it fly. The ball gets away over the head of everybody. Madlock, Foli, Kelleher touch the bag, and Rojas says, come on home.
Foli, in a desperate attempt, tries to get Kelleher, but it's way too late.
Error will be charged to Stargell. A breaking ball chopped in the turf. Watch Kelleher. Madlock looks him back. As soon as he made his move to first base, Kelleher took off, and he pressures a Willie Stargell throw, which goes over everybody.
So the Chicago Cubs take the lead 7-6 here in the 13th inning. DeJesus takes the strike. And I must say, Tony, in a tribute to Stargell, hardly anyone booed.
Yep.
He has won so many games for them that they just sat there stunned that their man would throw the ball away.
It's an error, but give a lot of credit to Kelleher for forcing a hurried throw by Stargell.
That he did. 1 ball and 1 strike. DeJesus. Two balls, 1 strike. There is the Pirate Brain Trust.
That's about the first time the entire ball game, and we're in the 13th now, that Chuck Tanner has been seated. He's been in and out, up and down.
Foul out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chicago Cubs with a run here in the 13th have taken the lead 7-6. Crowd really quiet, stunned. Montreal has already won their game. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Should cuddle, and the Cubs hold on. Montreal will only be a game behind, and there's tomorrow. Straight away center field. Moreno's got a beat on it. Makes the play. That ends the inning. So we go into the bottom half of the 13th inning. Chicago 7, the Pittsburgh Pirates 6. It'll be the pitcher, Moreno and Foli for Pittsburgh in the bottom of the 13th, trailing by 1. We're back here live at Three Rivers Stadium, and we've had all kinds of excitement, all kinds of heroes, tremendous fielding plays, some clutch hitting. And here in the 13th inning, some clutch running, daring running, aggressive running by Mickey Kelleher. And that's given the Chicago Cubs a 7-6 lead here in the 13th. Here is the big play. Kelleher was on at second base, Tony.
There he is, a ground ball to Madlock. He looked him back, but as soon as he released the ball, Kelleher took off for third. Stargell, with his arm being challenged, threw the ball over the head of Madlock, and then Foli. Kelleher raced home with the 7th run. It's 7-6 in the last of the 13th, and we've got a pinch hitter now for the pitcher, Dorian Boylan. A not very familiar name to us, and I'm sure to you fans. He has 2 at-bats for the Pirates this year. He's been in 3 ball games. He has no hits. Struck out 1 time in those 2 at-bats.
There is Amalfitano talking to Mike Rourke.
Pirates, number 44, Dorian Boylan.
Dorian Boylan.
Don Robinson, Dorian Boylan.
They're pretty much straight away for Boylan. I'll tell you, this young Caudle has really done a job for these Cubs.
Boylan has some power.
There's a strike.
Cubs defensively are playing Boylan about straight away. I'm sure they've got a little bit of a book on him, but not a whole lot.
He was up with Pittsburgh in '78, went to bat 8 times, got 2 hits. And there you see the defense. Chicago 7, Pittsburgh 6. Good fastball, 2 quick strikes.
Caudle has been outstanding. For a guy that came in, as we mentioned to you earlier, with no wins and 7 losses, an ERA at just under 5, he has really done a job on the Pirates.
Fouled out of play. Got the ball inside, a good spot. Should the Cubs hold on, it'll be a game separating Montreal and Pittsburgh.
Can't find Tanner.
They had an exciting game up in Montreal today. Bottom of the 9th, won it. Struck him out. Let's take a look at that exciting finish in Montreal when the Expos scored a run in the bottom of the 9th to win it.
Center fielder, Omar Moreno.
Well, we have a tape ready, but we're not quite ready. We had some technical difficulties, but it was an exciting finish. 2-0. Montreal was leading. Philly scored 2 runs are tied, 1 in the 8th and 1 in the 9th, and then Expos 1 in the bottom half.
Bill Lee pitched well again. He's pitched very well, especially the last month and a half or so for Dick Williams. But I believe the win went to Sosa. He's had some arm problems. Really is Sosa. What a deal that was made by John McHale.
Omar Moreno with the count of strike 1. 1 out, nobody on. 7-6. Cubs are leading. We're in the 13th. Inside, 1-1. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
How many times have you heard during the course of pennant races down through the years where a contender like Pittsburgh would rather play another contender than play a, as they call, a loosey-goosey team like the Chicago Cubs? Cubs have pulled balls out of their hat. They've gotten big hits. They came back after they were down by 3 runs.
I tell you, that's the only fun that you have when you're on a second division club. Speak from my own experience. Kim says, come on, you got to put something on that ball. Foul back by Moreno. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Parker. Foli. Foli's the on-deck batter. Two balls and 2 strikes. Moreno fouls it off again. One man out. Nobody on. Chicago 7, Pittsburgh 6. We are in the bottom of the 13th. Montreal beat Philadelphia 3-2 with a run in the bottom of the 9th. An exciting finish. Too much time, and now Moreno backs off. Chuck Tanner cheerleading. Don't forget, we begin on Tuesday night. That's the schedule, but the way it's going. Foul back. Cincinnati is already clinched. Baltimore, of course, clinched. California is clinched. But here, it still hangs in balance. Moreno really putting up a battle. Pending the outcome of this game, right now, Montreal a game and a half behind. Should Amalfitano and his Cubbies hold on, they will only be a game behind. Imagine starting way back in April and coming down to one game. 2-2 pitch. High hopper. De Jesus has it. Throw in time. And an exciting finish in Montreal. We've got some tape to show you how they scored that run. Let's take a look at it. Here it is in Montreal with the tape.
The Philadelphia Phillies tied the game at 2 in the 9th when Tim McCarver got a single ride here and Greg Gross was on. He came in to score. That tied the game up at 2 apiece for McCarver. That was his 1,500th hit of the year, or of his career. Then Montreal in the bottom of the 9th. Dave Cash pinch hitting. Tug McGraw on the mound. Lines went out to right. Bake McBride's pulled in. Say goodbye, folks. It's all over. Montreal won the game 3-2 as Tim Raines came in to score.
So that's the way it went in Montreal. And right here, Tim Foli. The crowd hoping to get something going, and Foley takes a strike on the outside corner. The Cubs are leading 7-6, 2 outs, nobody on in the 13th. Little looper, it drops in for a base hit, so the tying run is on, and the big man Parker is in the batter's box, and this crowd will react to the big guy when he gets up there as Foley keeps it alive. We've got a pinch runner for Foley. Gary Hargis, and Bill Buckner says, "Who are you?" And he said, "Let me read the back of your shirt." Hargis is an infielder. He is the pinch runner for Foley, who has a bad leg. And there's another meeting on the mound. Mike Rourke has come out. Monchak is having a meeting to Hargis. And when you saw him put his fingers out like that, what he was saying, that's as big a lead as I want you to get. Because if you get picked off, I will kill you. And Rourke has got them all in there, man. It's Sesame Street all over. The youngster, a young battery. Mike Rourke's meeting's over. Kim, the catcher, reminding everybody that there are 2 outs. And there you see him, Dave Parker, who's had himself a big day. 4 for 5. Dave Parker, as we look at Gary Hargis. Nightly news will be seen on most of our stations following this game. Right now, the business at hand, Caudill against Parker. Fastball inside, ball 1. Hargis is standing on the bag. Buckner is standing behind him. Now he gets a little lead. I'll tell you, if he gets picked off, he might as well just run for the center field fence. Off the leg, De Jesus comes up with it, the throw, can't make it. Off the leg of Caudill, and Parker has his 5th base hit of the afternoon. De Jesus looked like he might have been able to make the play, and Hargis, going all the way, digs hard. He has to get there, and he does. Well, now it's up to Willie Stargell. It It was Stargell who made the big error with Kelleher. Stargell, 1 for 6. There are 2 outs. Fouls it off, strike 1. He was going for downtown. Caudill was able to get Stargell on strikes in the 11th inning. After 2 strikes, he threw a high fastball. Stargell chased it, didn't get it, was out on strike. Stargell struck out in the 7th. He had a big base hit in the 1st to drive in 2 runs. Two outs, tying run at second base. Hargis, Parker at first. Off the handles, he fouled it back. Breaking ball in a good spot. When he had the 2 strikes and no ball count the last time, this pitch he threw high out of the strike zone. Kim is going out there now to make sure that they are together to exactly where he's going to throw this pitch. The pattern the last time was out of the strike zone with the 2-strike, no ball pitch, and then threw a high fastball 2-1 and struck him out. And this is what you remind him of right here.
You folks who are sitting or hanging on the fence at deep center field will have to get down before the game resumes.
Time is called. There are some people in the center field fence and in right field that are leaning over the fence. They're going to have to get them out. So they're asking them to leave. And those of you waiting for nightly news, on most of our stations, nightly news will follow at the conclusion of this game. Willie Stargell, tying runs at second, 2 strikes to count. Parker's at first. Fouls it off. That got Billy Williams. He went right after him. Count remains at strike 2. Right now, the man of the hour, Stargell for Pittsburgh. For the Cubs, Kelleher. On it, down ball, Madlock. Looking back, he headed for third. Stargell threw it away. They broke the 6-6 tie. High. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pattern repeats. There you see Hargis at second, Parker at first. Hanner cheering him on. So Caudill does the job, and the Chicago Cubs defeat the Pittsburgh Pirates by the score of 7-6. Look at those Cubbies. Look at Bill Caudill. You would think that they had just won a pennant. The Jets and the Montreal Expos are now only a game behind. Willie Stargell, Dave Parker head for the clubhouse. Montreal Expos won the game. The Pirates were defeated by the Chicago Cubs this afternoon, 7-6. And Bill Caudill, who did this, then he does it again in the 13th. So that ended the ball game. Beat the Pirates 7-6, and we'll be right back after these messages. There were 25,734 here, and they have filed out. But what of baseball? They saw some tremendous defensive plays. Billy Buckner saved the game for the Cubs on diving catch on a ball hit by, and then Mickey Kelleher's daring base run, really the big play as he scored the run that beat him 7-6. So there's the strikeout that ended it. Final score 7-6. Cubs over Pittsburgh. Tony Kubek, Joe Garagiola saying so long.